What if I told you the government is giving back up to $50,000 to first-time home buyers right now? And most people have absolutely no idea. And the crazy part, I'm getting calls every single week from buyers who have no idea this is even real. They are out there negotiating prices, stressing about down payments, thinking they can't afford to get into this market, and they have this massive savings sitting right there unclaimed. Watch this video till the end because I will be sharing some costly mistakes and builder traps. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, if you have a family member who's been trying to get into the Surrey market, or if you're an investor who wants to understand how this changes the numbers, you need to watch this video, because what just got introduced in Canada in March 2026 is the biggest change to new home buying I've seen in my 20 plus years in real estate. I'm Sonny Bhinder, a real estate agent and a team leader with eXp Realty here in Surrey, BC. With over 20 years of experience, my team has done over 1,300 transactions and more than $1 billion in sales volume. And if you want to talk about your specific situation, whether you think you qualify for this rebate or not, the link to book a call with me is right below this video. So what is this GST rebate and why does it only apply to new homes? When you buy a brand new home in BC, whether it's a condo, a townhouse or a detached house, you pay 5% GST on top of the purchase price. That is goods and service tax. It is a federal tax and it only applies to new construction or substantially renovated properties. If you buy a resale home, you do not pay GST. It is zero. Let's put real numbers on this. You are buying a new townhouse in Surrey for $900,000. 5% GST on $900,000 is $45,000. That is $45,000 on top of your purchase price. That makes the total purchase price $945,000. That is real money. And for a lot of buyers, that's the difference between being able to get into the market and feeling like it's just out of the reach. Now, before 2026, there was already a GST rebate program in place. But here's the problem with that old program. And this is what drove me crazy about it. The maximum rebate was only $6,300 and it only applied to homes priced up to $450,000. So can you tell me where in Surrey, Langley or Metro Vancouver you are able to buy a new home for under $450,000? It barely exists. So for most buyers in our market, that old program was absolutely useless. So that changed in March 2026 and that is what today's video is all about. Now let's talk about the difference between the old rebate versus the new $50,000 rebate. On March 12, 2026, Bill C4 received Royal Assent. That means it is officially the law right now, and the law created a brand new GST rebate specifically for first-time home buyers, and the numbers are completely different from anything we have seen ever before. Here's the comparison. Old rebate is up to maximum $6,300 only, and that is for homes under $450,000. Basically irrelevant for our Surrey market. New rebate is up to $50,000. You can get full rebate on homes priced up to $1 million and a partial sliding scale rebate on homes between $1 million and $1.5 million. Let me say that again. If you are a qualified first-time buyer purchasing a brand new home in Surrey, Langley or Metro Vancouver for $1 million or less, you could get back 100% of the GST. That is $50,000 back in your pocket. Let's walk through some real examples that actually make sense for our market. Say you're buying a new 2-bedroom condo in Surrey City Centre for $700,000. 5% GST is $35,000. Under this new law, as a first-time buyer, you get that entire $35,000 back in your pocket. Now let's say you're buying a new townhouse in Clayton or Cloverdale for $950,000. GST is $47,500. You get it all back, all of it. Now say you're buying a new home for $1.4 million. You are between $1 million and $1.5 million. You get a partial rebate on a sliding scale. Still, it's a significant savings, just not the full amount. And if you're over $1.5 million, the first-time home buyer rebate does not apply, but the standard GST new housing rebate may still apply in some cases. So always confirm with your agent or tax advisor. This is a seismic shift and I want you to really feel what this means for you. Right now, new condos and townhouses in Surrey are being built in the 700,000 to 1 million range. These are exactly the homes first-time buyers are targeting, and this rebate was built for exactly those buyers and exactly those prices. Now, do you qualify for this? Let's break it down. Number one, you must be a first-time home buyer. But here's where people get confused. The federal definition of a first-time buyer for this rebate is not the same as other programs. Federally, you qualify if you have not owned and occupied a home as your principal residence at any point in the 4 calendar years before your purchase. So the clock doesn't reset on the January 1st of the year you buy. It goes back 4 full calendar years. If you haven't owned and lived in a principal residence anywhere in the world for roughly the past 4 years, you likely qualify. Number 2, you must be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. You must also at least be 18 years old. Both of those are requirements. Number 3, the home must be a new build or substantially renovated property. This does not apply to resale homes. New construction only. That includes condos, townhouses, detached homes, and even mobile homes or floating homes. Number 4, the home must be your primary place of residence. This is not an investment property rebate. You are moving in. It has to be your home. Number 5, and this one is critical, so please pay attention. Your purchase agreement must have been signed on or after March 2025. So if you have signed a pre-sale agreement last year after March 20th, 2025, you may already qualify. You can apply directly to the CRA within 2 years of taking ownership. Now there's one more thing I wanted to flag here for anyone thinking about stacking this with the BC property transfer tax exemption. The definitions are slightly different between the federal and the provincial programs. Federally, you qualify for this GST rebate if you have not previously received the first-time home buyer GST rebate before. The BC property transfer tax exemption has its own rules. It requires that you have never owned a principal residence anywhere in the world, period. So confirm your eligibility for each program separately. They can be stacked, but each has its own rules. Now I know I have your attention. How to stack your savings. Here is the full picture. This is my favorite part of the video because this is where it really gets exciting. GST rebate does not live in isolation. When you combine it with everything else that is available to first-time buyers in BC right now, the total savings you can access is staggering. Let me walk you through what a real first-time buyer in Surrey, Langley or Metro Vancouver could potentially stack together in 2026. GST rebate up to $50,000. That's program number 1. We already talked about it. BC property transfer tax exemption. If your new home is under $1.1 million, you may qualify for the newly built home property transfer tax exemption, which can save you thousands in transfer tax. And if you also qualify as a first-time buyer, the property transfer tax first-time buyer exemption can save you up to $8,000 on homes under $835,000. First Home Savings Account, the FHSA. This is a registered savings plan where you contribute up to $8,000 per year, tax deductible, with a lifetime limit of $40,000. So when you withdraw it to buy your first home, it is completely tax-free. If you buy with your partner, each have an FHSA maxed amount that is $80,000 ready to go. RRSP Home Buyers Plan. You can withdraw up to $60,000 from your RRSP, tax-free for your home purchase. As a couple, that's up to $120,000. Federal First-Time Home Buyer Tax Credit. Another $1,500 in tax savings. Now let's put all this together in a real scenario. Say you're a couple buying a new townhouse in Surrey for $900,000. You each have your FHSA maxed at $40,000. That is $80,000 towards your down payment. You each pull $60,000 from your RRSP. That's another $120,000. You get the GST rebate of $45,000 back. You eliminated the property transfer tax with the newly built home exemption, and you claim the $1,500 tax credit. Between the savings and the accessible down payment, you are potentially looking at over $200,000 worth of financial tools that you can put towards getting into your first home. that changes everything. And people wonder why I tell every single first-time home buyer who calls me, do not skip this step. Do your homework on these programs before you even start looking at homes. Now here comes the interesting part, the common mistakes and builder traps. Okay, I have to be straight with you here because I've seen this catch buyers off guard too many times. Mistake number one, you assume the rebate is automatic. It is not. Most of the time, if you're buying directly from a builder, the builder will credit the rebate at closing. It gets built into your purchase price and the builder submits the paperwork on your behalf. But here's the problem. Some builders include the rebate in the price, assuming you qualify without confirming it with you. If you don't actually qualify as a first-time buyer, you are responsible for the GST at closing. Always confirm upfront. Does the price include GST net of rebate, or is the rebate being credited separately? Mistake number two, you mix up new build and pre-sale. Just because you bought a pre-sale 2 years ago doesn't automatically mean it qualifies. Agreement has to be signed on or after March 20th, 2025. If you sign before that date, you are working under the old rules. Mistake number three, you think this rebate applies to your investment property. It does not. This is for primary residence only. If you are buying to rent out, you are not eligible for the first-time home buyer GST rebate. There is a separate GST new residential rental rebate that may apply, but the amounts and the rules are completely different. Mistake number four, you wait. This is perhaps the biggest one. The program is active right now. CRA is accepting applications right now. Prices in Surrey are moving. If you're sitting on the fence thinking, let me wait a few more months, ask yourself, what waiting actually costs you in this market? I always tell my clients, the best time to buy was yesterday. The second best time is today. So let me bring this all together for you. The GST rebate for first-time buyers in BC in 2026 is the real deal. You get back up to $50,000 on a new home under $1 million. It received Royal Assent on March 12, 2026. It applies retroactively to agreement signed after March 20th, 2025. The CRA is already accepting applications. If you're a first-time buyer and you have already bought or signed a pre-sale agreement in the last year, you need to look at this ASAP. You need to talk to someone who actually knows this market. That's what I'm here for. I've been doing this for over 20 years right here in Surrey, Langley, and Metro Vancouver. My team at 10X Realty Group, we close deals in this market every single week. And I want to help you figure out exactly what you qualify for before you make one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. Hit that subscribe button if this video helped you. Drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you want to talk specifics about your situation, book a free consultation with me. The link is right below. And hey, before you go, check out my channel. You're gonna find more interesting content over there. I'll see you in the next one.